The eagle dives from the sky, locking onto its target in a single instant. Its wings cut through the wind, the descent angle timed with precise control. No display is needed. The right moment is enough to claim the advantage. High above, speed and accuracy decide who still has a chance. When a shadow drops from the sky, the prey may already be out of time. In the natural world, the moment an eagle engages a snake is often seen as one of the most refined confrontations of the wild skies. Species such as the white-bellied sea eagle possess not only strength, but also hunting instincts shaped to handle dangerous reptiles. Off the coast of Malaysia, hundreds of sea snakes gather in the surrounding waters. An eagle quickly locks onto a target and dives with remarkable speed. Almost everything is decided in the first instant. Curved talons secure the right point of control, while thick scales on the legs act as natural protection, helping reduce risk during the close approach. Yet not every eagle hunts in the same way. The brown snake eagle is especially known for confronting many types of snakes, including highly dangerous species such as cobras and puff adders. When the prey is large and still capable of resistance, the eagle repeatedly adjusts its position in the air to maintain the advantage and disrupt the rhythm of the snake's response. In encounters like this, success depends not only on gripping power, but also on choosing the right distance, the right timing, and the right angle of approach. Between sky and ground, it becomes a contest where composure, instinct, and strategy determine which animal remains in control to the end. Living within tightly structured groups, monkeys move like trained athletes with exceptionally fast reflexes. They launch precise leaps across open gaps of more than 30 feet, trusting that the dense network of branches offers the safest possible shield. Yet for crowned eagles and harpy eagles, this canopy becomes a stage for extraordinary aerial skill. They tilt sharply through the air, slipping between narrow openings with remarkable precision while maintaining relentless pursuit. When the swift strike is finally released, the tangled forest suddenly works in favor of the hunter. When facing the powerful 4-inch grip of a sloth clinging to a trunk, the eagle relies on a strategy of powerful lifting force to separate the animal from the tree. Curved talons close firmly, turning speed and control into decisive advantage, reinforcing a quiet truth of the rainforest. No place within the canopy is ever completely secure. Winter across North America turns the open plains into a silent arena, where life is measured one breath at a time. Beneath the deep snow, a fox, often called the master of cunning, operates its ears like a radar system, locking on to hidden prey from nearly 50 yards away. Yet that intense focus on the ground creates a dangerous blind spot directly above. From the sky, the golden eagle narrows its wings, transforming its body into a living arrow, descending at speeds approaching 150 miles per hour. As the fox bursts into sharp zigzag runs across the snow, the eagle answers with sweeping turns that harness powerful momentum, steadily closing the distance. The encounter can also involve the wary coyote, which sometimes moves in to claim the opportunity. Rather than rushing into direct contact, the eagle spreads its broad wings to appear larger, beating the air with strong gusts that force the rival to hesitate. Even so, this is a high-risk moment, where a small mistake could expose the eagle to the sharp teeth of its opponent. Most of these encounters end with a careful withdrawal on both sides, a quiet reflection of the respect shared among the plains' most capable hunters. On the frigid mountain slopes, where wind cuts through the cliffs like a thin blade, oxygen grows scarce, and every step carries risk. Here, the golden eagle and the wedge-tailed eagle are among the few predators willing to turn extreme altitude into an advantage against prey several times their own size. Their target is often the mountain goat, weighing around 110 pounds, a master of balance on ledges only a few inches wide. Split hooves and firm gripping pads allow it to move, as if reading every crack in the rock face, leaving almost no visible mistake. From a distance, the eagle observes carefully, focusing on a young or isolated individual. Then it uses a steep dive to pressure the animal closer to the cliff's edge. But the decisive factor is not simply the dive. This is where gravity becomes the true lever. The golden eagle often uses a twisting pull to shift the prey away from its foothold, causing it to lose balance and slide from the rock face. In that instant, the animal's own weight works against it, and the deep ravine below brings the chase to a close. In this environment, the winner is not only the stronger one, it is the one that masters the boundary of the open air. On the open savanna, survival is sometimes decided in a moment shorter than a blink. Medium-sized antelope such as impala or bushbuck are true athletes of the grasslands. They can sprint to nearly 50 miles per hour, leap high without warning, and change direction almost instantly to disrupt a pursuing path. Their survival depends on staying half a step ahead of danger. Yet that same rapid rhythm of life can sometimes reveal a brief opening. In a stretch of exposed ground, a newborn calf falls out of step with the herd while crossing an area with little cover. A martial eagle has been watching quietly from above, waiting for that exact moment. Without the herd's protection, and with instincts still developing, the young animal quickly becomes a target that can be separated from the group. In another moment, the mother antelope charges across the path, using sharp turns to force the hunter to keep adjusting its approach. But in this arena, the advantage from above often creates overwhelming pressure. A single hesitation is enough for the calf to drift beyond the protective circle and be lifted from the ground in an instant. Such is the unyielding rule of the savannah. Even the smallest break in formation can change the outcome entirely. Under the 100 degrees Fahrenheit heat of the semi-desert, a master of camouflage with lightning-fast reflexes reveals itself: the lizard. For this cold-blooded reptile, warmth is not just comfort. It allows the body to operate at full capacity. Yet that very stillness can also become the perfect trap. From a steady height, the eagle fixes its target with eyesight estimated to be about 4 times sharper than that of humans. It waits until the reptile moves far enough from cover, where every escape route grows shorter. Then the gravity-driven descent begins with remarkable precision. In a brief instant, curved talons gain control of the reptile before it can shift direction. If the tail continues to flick in the final moment, the strong beak assists in maintaining control. The encounter concludes swiftly, and the desert floor soon returns to its quiet stillness. In estuaries, the water's surface acts like a mirror that constantly deceives the eye with glare, ripples, and refraction. For fish-hunting eagles, it is not simply a surface to watch. It is a challenge that demands near-perfect precision. In many populations, especially the bald eagle, fish form the primary source of food. Each successful catch therefore carries clear survival value. From above, the eagle scans the water with exceptionally sharp vision, waiting for the moment when a fish swims closer to the surface or appears within an open patch of water. When the timing is right, the eagle narrows its body and descends along a controlled path, extending curved talons to seize the fish in a brief touch of the water. Yet eagles do not always rely solely on their own hunt. They may also take advantage of opportunities by claiming fish from other fishing birds, particularly the osprey, turning strength, timing, and energy efficiency into part of their survival strategy. Here, success does not belong to the hunter that dives the most, but to the one that reads the water correctly and acts at the perfect moment. The ruler of the savannah rises, releasing waves of muscle power through thunderous pounces that shake the ground. It surges forward like a golden storm, sweeping across the plains with the instincts of a master hunter. Before every obstacle and rival, that authority has rarely wavered. Along the narrow edge where survival is tested, the lion doesn't pursue prey merely to endure. It moves with the quiet confidence of true dominance. Across the African savanna, lions are the only big cats that live in organized prides, where the females lead most hunts through coordination and experience. An adult male often weighs around 420 pounds, his thick mane acting like a natural shield that both signals status and helps reduce risk during territorial disputes. Within the savanna ecosystem, the lion's true strength lies in discipline, timing, and the balance between short-term success and long-term cost. African wild dogs are among the most enduring athletes of the savanna. Each individual weighs only about 70 pounds, yet carries the stamina to sustain a chase across many miles. With large ears acting like sensitive radar stations, the pack moves as a finely tuned system, where survival depends on discipline and deep understanding among its members. When a lioness enters their territory, the pack quickly forms a surrounding strategy. Rather than risking a direct confrontation, they launch repeated probing rushes, using their numbers to create relentless psychological pressure. Faced with constant harassment from every direction, a lone lioness will often withdraw rather than waste precious energy. But that balance can break instantly when a male lion weighing more than 400 pounds appears. In that moment, the pack's encircling tactics lose their advantage against overwhelming strength. There is no prolonged pursuit. The pack loses the edge, and the slowest dog is pushed out of position. A new order settles across the plain as the wild dogs scatter, keeping a careful distance while quietly acknowledging the authority that has just swept across the savanna. Do not let the label scavenger be misleading. Spotted hyenas are formidable fighters, organized within a disciplined matriarchal society. With a bite force exceeding 1,100 pounds per square inch, each individual weighing around 150 pounds becomes part of a tightly connected force when united, an assembly strong enough to challenge even the most dominant rulers. Yet the savanna already has its guardians. To defend their position, lions do not wait. They move first, With a clear advantage in size and presence, a male lion embodies raw strength. Powerful swipes from the forelimbs are not merely displays of force. They are meant to disorient and quickly break the resolve of a rival. In their world, taking the initiative is often the most effective way to confront direct competitors. On the other side, the hyenas persist. They rely on their numbers to harass and pressure, patiently waiting for an opening from a lone king. It becomes a complex dance of survival, intense yet calculated. After each confrontation, balance returns once again. Lions help limit hyena numbers, while hyenas help clear the savannah, keeping the ecosystem in motion. If the rhinoceros is an armored fortress, the African buffalo resembles the true tanks of the savannah. An adult can weigh around 2,000 pounds, with massive shoulders, thick hide, and, most importantly, a temperament that rarely retreats. That enormous reserve of energy makes the buffalo one of the most practical targets for lions. A high risk, yet a reward large enough for a hunting pride to consider. Within the sea of golden grass, a single slower step can change everything. The rhythm of the hunt shifts instantly. The lions adjust their formation, spreading out, lowering their bodies, and moving along both flanks to cut angles and block any return to the herd. They do not rush to overwhelm the target. Instead, they extend the pressure, testing reactions while waiting for signs of fatigue. Forces the hunters to pause, because A forces the hunters to pause, because a single misstep could place them within the dangerous reach beneath those hooves. Then distant hoofbeats echo across the grass. The herd returns, forming a unified mass, raising a wall of horns that pushes the pressure back. The balance shifts in an instant. The solitary animal is no longer alone. And in the wild, the greatest strength is not always muscle. It is the power of standing together. On the horizon, a giraffe rises like a living tower, standing nearly 18 feet tall, with pillar-like legs and kicks powerful enough to turn distance into a forbidden zone. Its patterned coat blends into the late afternoon light, creating a calm presence that seems almost untouchable. But when two males clash in a contest, their heavy neck swings quicken the breath. Their steps fall out of rhythm, revealing a rare moment of vulnerability. Hidden in the grass, the lions do not miss that moment. They observe, compare, and wait for the more exhausted individual to lose balance. Once the target is clear, the formation spreads like a tightening net, guiding the giraffe toward uneven ground, where long strides lose their advantage, and speeds of nearly 35 miles per hour cannot fully unfold. The distance closes. A rush comes from behind to slow the momentum, followed by a swift sidestep to avoid the counterstrike. With no path to retreat, the giraffe pivots and unleashes a powerful backward kick that cuts through the air. But at the decisive moment, one key hunter leaps onto its back, tipping the delicate axis of balance. The towering body loses footing and drops heavily to the ground. The chase ends in a single sudden turn. On the savannah, terrain and timing can sometimes be sharper than strength itself. Across the savanna grasslands, zebras stand out with black and white stripes that ripple like a moving illusion. An adult can weigh around 700 pounds, with strong legs and a backward kick capable of delivering tremendous force, enough to make any pursuing predator think twice. When moving in a herd, the overlapping stripes blend together, disrupting a hunter's ability to isolate a single target. Lions understand this well. With an average success rate of about 25%, every encounter becomes a test of patience. Coordinating individuals use the terrain to close within about 100 feet before launching a sudden burst of speed. The focus is usually on a zebra that drifts away from the protective flow of the herd. In the decisive moment, the pursuer accelerates to nearly 35 miles per hour, carefully adjusting its path to match the movement of its target. Even while facing powerful defensive kicks from the hind legs, persistence and precise teamwork gradually shift the balance. After sustained effort, the predator completes the natural cycle of interaction and secures control of its objective. In the wild, survival depends not only on strength, but on understanding the rhythm of nature. Each encounter reflects the enduring balance that shapes life across the savannah. In the natural world, if the rhinoceros resembles an armored fortress, the lion represents one of the most daring risk-takers. Weighing more than 5,000 pounds and protected by skin nearly 2 inches thick, a rhino carries a natural defense that challenges even the sharpest claws. Yet when hunger pushes hunting instincts to their limits, a tense confrontation can begin. Across low grass and uneven mounds of earth, lions lower their bodies and circle quietly from behind, the direction where the rhino's view is most limited. The goal is not an immediate takedown, but to disrupt its rhythm of movement and wait for a brief opening as it turns. The rhino responds with a burst of speed close to 30 miles per hour, pivoting like a steel gate, while its horn sweeps wide enough to force any close approach to pause. A rare opportunity appears when the rhino slips into mud near the edge of a watering hole. Rather than retreating, the lions move closer, testing a fragile opening. But the advantage lasts only moments. The rhino gathers its strength, surges free from the mud, and charges forward like a powerful wave of muscle. The lions pull back, not from lack of resolve, but from recognizing the limits of facing an opponent still capable of a strong counter. It becomes a valuable reminder. In nature, the boldest challenger is not always the one who controls the outcome. The Arctic is a place where hesitation means falling behind, and the polar bear is built to hold the advantage. Its massive body moves across the ice and snow, steadily narrowing every possible escape. Each close approach blends strength, endurance, and a remarkably precise hunting instinct. Even other predators tend to reconsider their distance when it appears. What allows the polar bear to maintain its commanding presence in this unforgiving frozen world? The polar bear is the largest bear species on the planet. An adult male often weighs around 1,400 pounds and can reach about 8 feet in length. Its coat is made of nearly transparent hairs that cover dark skin, helping the body absorb and retain heat more effectively. The bright white appearance also provides natural camouflage across snow and sea ice. Wide, fur-covered paws help maintain steady traction on slippery surfaces. Within the Arctic marine ecosystem, the polar bear stands as the top predator and reflects the overall condition of a rapidly changing frozen environment. The Arctic is not a realm that allows mistakes. Across this vast white wilderness, the ringed seal, an animal weighing only about 150 pounds, forms the most critical calorie link, making up nearly 70% of the diet of the region's top predator. To survive, the seal has developed a clever system of snow bunkers, hiding beneath thick layers of snow while maintaining secret breathing holes through the hard sea ice. It surfaces for only a few brief seconds to draw air, and in that moment, the line between safety and danger becomes remarkably thin. Above the compressed ice, the polar bear appears like a silent figure of patience. It does not waste energy on long, uncertain chases. Instead, the giant operates like a quiet strategist, capable of remaining still for hours beside a breathing hole in temperatures near -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Each broad step spreads its weight across the ice, allowing it to approach without sending even the faintest vibration through the frozen surface. When the water finally stirs, the moment unfolds in a single powerful motion. A well-timed strike can provide the precious energy needed to sustain the predator for several more days. Yet on this frozen battleground, success is never guaranteed. Many of these silent ambushes end with nothing more than the wind moving across the ice. In the harsh, high Arctic, Desperation can push predators into extreme gambles. When seals grow scarce, an exhausted mother bear, carrying the responsibility of her cubs, makes one of the most daring decisions, approaching a massive herd of walruses. Each adult here can weigh around 3,000 pounds and carries tusks reaching about 3 feet in length, giving them the presence of a fortress that is extremely difficult to challenge. As the walruses gather along the sandy shore to rest, the mother bear quietly moves along the edge of the formation, reading every movement while waiting for the moment when the herd's order begins to loosen. When the walruses startle and press towards the water, the bear increases the pressure, turning the sudden confusion into a chance to separate a younger or slower individual from the moving mass. At this moment, flexibility and awareness become the only keys that may open a narrow path to survival. If successful, the energy gained can be substantial, enough to sustain the bear for many days. However, the risk remains extreme. If the walruses reach the water in time, the balance quickly shifts. In this frozen world, such encounters are not simply acts of aggression, but a harsh calculation between risk and reward, where adaptation determines which life will still see the Arctic sunrise tomorrow. In the Arctic, nature does not operate through mercy, but through a harsh calculation of calories. As sea ice, the very foundation of survival, gradually disappears, the boundaries between individual polar bears become more fragile and more dangerous than ever before. An adult male weighing up to 1,400 pounds stands like a living fortress against the white snow. Even its quiet presence alone can impose control over a food source or a critical travel corridor. When tension rises, it does not rush into a reckless clash. Instead, it lifts its head, tightens the powerful muscles across its shoulders, and releases deep, resonant calls, a ritual used to measure the confidence of the opponent. If neither side yields, the two giants may enter a heavy test of strength, where powerful swipes help establish a new order of dominance. The tension reaches another level when a mother bear appears with her cubs. In the world of top predators, a hungry adult male can pose a serious danger to young bears. At this moment, the encounter is no longer about food, but about the most fundamental instinct of survival. The mother bear, though smaller, must turn vigilance into her greatest advantage, using mobility and swift defensive reactions to offset the difference in size. Each encounter becomes a cold measure of energy and the right to pass life forward. It is not meaningless chaos, but a harsh rhythm that keeps the lifeblood of this frozen kingdom from fading away. As the Arctic summer gradually draws to a close, the tide pulls back and reveals narrow bottlenecks near river mouths. There, groups of beluga whales must pass through shallow channels to feed, shed their skin, and care for their young, causing the vast ocean to suddenly narrow for a brief moment. From a high rocky ledge, a polar bear watches in silence. It does not rush into the water without purpose, but waits for the precise moment when the beluga formation becomes crowded near the shallows or a narrow passage. Yet the whales, guided by their remarkable echolocation, can often slip away in an instant. Unwilling to give up, the predator moves several miles farther to set up a new watch point at the tightest gap in the ice. When a beluga surfaces for air in a vulnerable position, the bear responds with a swift movement, seizing the rare opportunity. At the edge of the world, advantage does not always belong to the fastest, but to the one who understands when to wait. As the tide closes again, another cycle of life quietly continues across the white Arctic landscape. A herd of caribou appears like a ribbon in constant motion. These resilient travelers carry hooves nearly 4 inches wide, functioning like natural snowshoes that help them stay steady on soft ground. Yet those very tracks can unintentionally form a pathway for a quiet predator: the polar bear. The bear's strategy follows the strict math of survival. Isolate the vulnerable. It waits patiently for individuals that fall behind because of injury, fatigue, or youth. Along deep snowy slopes, where the stride of a caribou becomes slower and more difficult, the polar bear releases a burst of power to close the distance with remarkable precision. With a full-grown caribou, the bear may drive the animal toward icy water. There, the balance can quickly shift. In the freezing current, the bear becomes a powerful and flexible swimmer, supported by strong lungs and its great body mass. When the predator finally pulls its prize onto the rocky shore, the moment marks not only the end of a long migration, but also a quiet reminder of the intelligence and adaptability of the Arctic's top hunter. Amid the chaotic chorus of tens of thousands of seabirds, a massive white figure quietly traces its path of survival along a towering cliff. No longer relying on swift strikes beneath icy water, the polar bear is now forced to become a careful climber more than 200 feet above sea level. Along narrow ledges where even a small misstep could bring serious danger, the giant slowly places its wide paws while approaching nests resting close to the edge. Each egg holds only about 300 calories, an amount that seems remarkably small compared with the tens of thousands of calories this large body requires each day. Yet as the familiar sea ice disappears, the once dominant hunter must accept the trade-off, gathering even the smallest sources of protein it can find. Here, survival is no longer about the pride of a ruler, but about patience, like a traveler enduring the bare rock until the Arctic winter returns. On the open savanna, a lightning-fast surge through the air erases every margin of safety in an instant. Its body coils like a compressed spring, then releases straight toward the target with chilling precision. The strike lands cleanly, and the rapid sequence of motion leaves no time for the prey to change direction. One fraction of a second out of rhythm, and control is stripped away as the final escape closes right ahead. So what transforms a legless creature into one of nature's most explosive forces of fear? In the dense rainforests of Central and West Africa, a danger that is almost invisible remains quietly present. The gaboon viper blends seamlessly into the layer of leaf litter on the forest floor, its heavy body weighing over 20 pounds and covered in intricate geometric patterns that make it extremely difficult to detect. It does not climb, and it does not pursue. Instead, the gaboon viper relies on a hunting strategy that is calm and deliberate, remaining motionless for days while waiting for a single decisive moment. Its prey consists mainly of rodents and lizards, and at times birds or small mammals that pass by unaware. With fangs that can reach up to 2 inches in length and exceptionally large venom glands, the gaboon viper is the largest member of the viper family. The bite occurs in an instant, brief and precisely timed, often concluding the hunt with very little energy expended. Its powerful venom, combining hemotoxic and cytotoxic effects, acts quickly on the body, gradually weakening the prey over a short period. The king cobra does not hide to wait. It patrols. Across the tropical forests of South Asia and Southeast Asia, this predator holds its ground like an uncrowned ruler. With a maximum length reaching about 18 feet and a powerful body weighing close to 40 pounds, it is widely regarded as the largest venomous snake in the world. Unlike most other snakes, the king cobra specializes in hunting other snakes. From rat snakes and water snakes to venomous species, it functions as a living regulator within the ecosystem. Each individual can control a territory spanning several square miles, where every movement is noticed. When a boundary is crossed, the king cobra raises the front of its body more than 6 feet high to assert dominance, a silent warning meant to force the intruder to back away before venom is ever used. During the breeding season, males intertwine in contests that avoid serious injury. After tensions pass, the female quietly builds a nest from leaf litter and guards dozens of eggs for weeks, behavior that is exceptionally rare among reptiles. That patience is a reminder that the greatest power can also be the responsibility to protect life. Among Africa's venom-spitting snakes, the Mozambique spitting cobra stands out as an especially unpredictable presence. Unlike many snakes that rely only on a close-range bite, this species has evolved the ability to accurately project venom toward a threat's face, creating a defensive advantage at a distance, particularly in confined spaces. It is widely distributed across eastern and southern Africa and adapts well to environments close to human activity, including villages, farms, and suburban areas. Active mainly at night, the Mozambique spitting cobra often appears without warning, leaving little time for people to recognize the danger. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, where humidity often rises above 80% and sunlight rarely reaches the ground, the bushmaster appears like an ancient shadow. It can reach about 12 feet in length and weigh more than 30 pounds. While many other pit vipers are smaller and quicker, the bushmaster is more like a moving fortress, with rough, ridged scales that resemble tree bark and coloring that allows it to disappear beneath the dim canopy. The bushmaster does not rely on constant movement to find food. It relies on absolute waiting. Its greatest distinction is extreme patience. A bushmaster can remain in the same ambush position for weeks without shifting even an inch, waiting for the scent trail of a target. It is the only New World pit viper that lays eggs rather than giving birth to live young, and the female coils around the nest to protect it. A rare behavior that reflects a major investment in the next generation deep inside a harsh old-growth forest. With more than 3,000 species distributed across the planet, snakes stand as proof of how streamlined evolution can be remarkably effective. Without limbs, they still master every kind of terrain, from deep coral reefs beneath the ocean's surface to the dense canopies of tropical rainforests. The key lies in an extremely flexible spine and hundreds of pairs of ribs that function like a perfectly tuned mechanical system. This quiet presence plays a vital role in keeping ecosystems operating within a fragile balance. The green mamba is considered one of the most visually striking, yet also among the most dangerous snakes. Unlike its well-known relative, the black mamba, which is often described as aggressive, the green mamba displays a vivid emerald color that allows it to blend seamlessly into dense foliage, becoming nearly invisible to its prey. Its venom alone is enough to place it temporarily among the most formidable snakes. With an average length of about 7 feet, it is extremely agile and so fast that it can appear to glide through the treetops. Most of a green mamba's life is spent more than 15 feet above the ground. Africa is home to 3 green mamba species: the East African, Jameson's, and West African green mambas. Its hunting method is a balance of patience and absolute precision. With the ability to locate prey within a dense green maze, it waits for the right moment. When the timing aligns, a swift, silent strike follows, delivering a powerful neurotoxin that leaves the target unable to respond. Amid the cracked earth of Australia's central outback, the inland taipan persists like a commanding ghost. With the ability to shift its skin tone from dark brown in winter below 60 degrees Fahrenheit to pale yellow in summer, it becomes a master of heat control in desert conditions that can reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This change is not only camouflage, but also a survival strategy for conserving critical energy. The taipan's reputation comes from an unmatched chemical defense. It carries the most potent venom of any land snake, far surpassing other contenders. A lightning-fast approach, a perfectly timed strike, and an immediate retreat. An encounter that ends so quickly the prey has no time to react. Just a tiny amount, about 0.003 ounces of toxin, is described as enough to overwhelm the biological systems of roughly 250,000 rodents. This blend of neurotoxins and specialized enzymes is built to shut the target down almost instantly, turning the hunt into an exact calculation. Despite its extreme capability, the inland taipan follows a reclusive life beneath deep ground cracks, reaching down as far as 10 feet. Its existence is a sharp reminder of how nature can concentrate immense power into a silent body, efficient, economical, and balanced. The black mamba is not merely an animal, but a symbol of speed and authority across Africa. With a length exceeding 10 feet and speeds reaching up to 12 miles per hour, it stands among the fastest movers in the reptile world. Its name comes from the deep black coloration inside its mouth, a visual signal that marks the boundary of survival. Its strength lies in absolute precision. With as little as 100 milligrams of neurotoxic venom, a target's biological systems can be rendered ineffective within about 20 minutes, turning each brief contact into an irreversible outcome. Even apex figures such as lions are known to retreat cautiously when faced with the limits set by this snake. Dominant hunters of the sky, including eagles, have at times been forced to yield to its unpredictable reflexes. For this reason, the black mamba stands as a symbol of natural power that commands respect from all forms of life. The eagle concludes its journey as a symbol of speed, precision, and command in the sky. Each descent reveals how, in nature, the right moment can determine everything. Across the vast sky, it maintains its position as a hunter that controls the encounter. If you enjoy dramatic wildlife moments like this, press like to show your support. And do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss the next journey.